Coming to the part 2 of this AIIMS capsule, where I would be taking you into a rapid fire biostats revision. Yes, but before that, remember my dear students, you should have seen the eMedico statistics videos. Yes. Now this part of capsule is purely for a rapid fire revision. Yes. Either you see the video or you have attended my class or Rajiv sir's class, it's fine. Okay. But this is only for revision. Take my word. Okay. Now, the topic 1, measure of central tendency. Yes, we have the mean, median and mode. Let me tell you, it is only the arithmetic mean. No geometric, no harmonic. So there should be no confusion. Now, how do we calculate the mean? Add all divided by the sample size. Median, arrange in ascending to descending order. The middle value is the median. Yes. Mode, the most commonly occurring. Now, preferred measure of central tendency. If it is a normal distribution, we take the mean. Now, what is a normal distribution? Mean is equal to median is equal to mode. Now, if it is a non-normal distribution, we take the median. Now, outliers. The most affected in case of outliers is the mean. The least affected is the mode, whereas the most preferred is the median. So what is an outlier? It is any extreme value. Any extreme value. Yes. Suppose there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 90. This 90 will be an outlier. Yes. Similarly, if there is 90, 100, 105, 110 and there is 1, this 1 will be an outlier. So in case of an outlier, the most preferred is a median. Yes. Okay. Topic 2, measure of dispersion or deviation. Standard error is calculated for the population, whereas standard deviation is calculated for the sample. We have 4 important formulas over here. Standard error of mean, ST by root over n. Standard error of proportion, root over PQ by n. COV, SD by mean into 100. Z, X minus mean by SD. X minus mean by SD. Yes. These are the 4 formulas which is used to see for measure of dispersion or deviation. Now, distribution of data. There are 3 theorems. You have to remember this. Mean or median or mode. Plus minus 1, 2 and 3 SD, 68, 95 and 99. Now, if there is skewness, now remember whichever side there is a skewness. If it is right side, mean will be on the right. If it is a left side, mean will be on the left. Now we know this bell-shaped curve, plus 1 SD, minus 1, plus 2, minus 2, plus 3, minus 3. Very simple. This is 34. This is 34. This entire is 95 because it is plus or minus 2 SD. So I hope by this time you are clear with the interpretation of this diagram. Now this is a very, very important diagram. Remember, this central line which is passing is the mean line. Yes. Now, the highest peak point is the mode, whereas anything in the middle will be median. So highest peak point is always the mode. Now see why this diagram is important. In the previous AIIMS, they had merged these 2 diagrams and they had asked the relationship. Now very simple. The red one is the normal curve, whereas below is the bimodal. So the mean will be same for both, but the modes would not be same. Now this time they can just change the diagram and they can draw something like this. Where they can have a skewed one where the mode will be same, but the mean would not. So this diagram as a cumulative is a very important diagram. Yes, I hope you are very clear about how we have labeled it. Yes, okay. Now, topic 4, variable. It is a theoretical topic, but it is important. Qualitative, how is it? Quantitative, how much? Mummy says, give us 1 kilo of potato to the vendor. That 1 kilo is the quantity. Whereas she will ask, is this a new potato, old potato, rural potato, urban potato? This is quality. Now remember, majority of variables can be both depending upon how you are measuring it. If I say weight 150 is quantitative, tuntun is you are fat like tuntun, you are quality. Yes, you are just 30 kgs, you are like 0 figure like Kareena Kapoor. Yes, again it is quality. Yes. Now, but there are some variables which are purely qualitative, like the race. religion, gender. Now, very important error which we make. Now, imagine this particular session is now being heard by some 7,000 students, where there are some 3,200 handsome hunk young doctors and 3,800 beautiful girls. Now, the moment we see numbers, we would jump to answer as quantitative. That is wrong, my dear. Only numbers refers to frequencies or sample sizes. Number plus metric scale would make it a quantitative variable. Now, what is a metric scale? Metric scale, kg, milliliter, these are examples of metric scale. Yes? Okay. Topic 4b, scale of measurement. How do you measure it? Now, if I measure the qualitative variable, yes, we measure it generally in categorical scale. The quantitative variables are measured in metric. Now, categorical is of two types, nominal and ordinal. Nominal, only names. Boy, girl, Indian, Australian, their names. Ordinal, tall, intermediate, short, there is an order. TNM staging, there is an order. Metric scale, interval and ratio, please don't get into details. In statistics, we do not use them separately. Yes, I hope it is clear. Topic 5, the graphical representation of data. These words are very specific. Line diagram tells you that trends or change of event with time. Yes. Scatter diagram or correlation, very important. It will tell you about relationships. Histogram, we have continuous data, no gaps. Bar diagram, there is discrete data, gaps are present. Spot map, geographical distribution of cholera by John Snow, spot map. Tree diagram, progression of a disease, because as a tree branches out, we can show a disease which was diagnosed in 2020, gradually complications in 2025, 30 progresses. Venn diagram shows you overlap. If I have to explain to a patient the complication of diabetes and hypertension, it will be a Venn diagram. Yes? Okay. Now, in this regression and correlation, which tells you relationship, there are three important points. R ranges from -1 to +1. So if they ask you a question where R is 1.6, it is wrong. Minus and plus only tell you about direction, which means if a mother smokes, the baby's weight reduces. This means it is an inverse relationship. But if the mother eats lots of dietary, this green leafy and vegetables, the baby's hemoglobin will be more. That is a positive relationship. Yes. Regression and correlation tell only about relationship. They never tell you about association, causation, or absolute magnitude of variables. Now, what do I mean by absolute magnitude of variables? See, if I say weight is equals to 0.6 height. So if height increases by 1, the weight will increase by 0.6. But this does not mean that if a person's height is 150, the weight will also be 150. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now, causation, we have 10 factors, the Dawes and Hill criteria. Association is measured by the statistical tests. Yes, which gives you p-value. Yes. So it will only tell you whether it is association present or absent, significant or insignificant. But the strength of association is given by odds ratio and relative risk in epidemiology. Yes. So regression and correlation can never ever tell you about these things. This should be very clear in your mind. Yes. Probability. If there are two variables which are dependent, you add. So probability total is probability of A is, just wait, probability of A plus probability of B. Independent probability total, we multiply PA into PB. That is independent. Yes. Now, what is dependent? What is independent? My weight depends on my height. True or false? True. So it is dependent. My skin complexion depends on my height. False. So it is independent. Now you have to read the question and differentiate it yourself. No one can make you mug up this. This should be very, very clear in your mind. Yes, done? Okay. Topic 7a, sample size. N is equal to 4 PQ by D square. Yes. Now this D refers to absolute precision. Yes. Now examiner generally gives you a range. Suppose I say the prevalence is 50 and the range is 45 to 55. How much is the D? Remember, D is plus or minus, that is, it is equidistant. Yes, it is plus or minus 5. It is plus or minus 5. Yes? Fine? Yes? Now imagine this is 50 and I say this is 40 to 60. Then the D will be plus or minus 10. So you have to apply this. Another thing I would like to say. Suppose the P is 50 and they give relative precision as 10. It is 10% of 50. So absolute precision will be 5. Similarly, if they give 50 over here and this is 50%, this will be 25%. This will be 25%. So these are the tricks which the examiner plays with us in this topic. Okay. Now sampling. Only two things you should be careful. Count the stages. One stage, simple random, convenient. Two stage, quota. More than two stage, systematic, stratified, cluster. Second question, stratified is meaningful. We divide the groups taking into account a particular variable. Cluster is non-meaningful. Cluster is non-meaningful. We are making divisions without taking into account a particular meaning or aspect. Yes? Okay. Confidence. In sample, standard deviation. In population, standard error. Same theorem. 68, 95, 99. 68, 95, 99. Just remember, for MCQ purpose, you can also take prevalence over here. Now, how to calculate the standard errors? By taking into account these two formulas. But the most important is this. Whenever the word population or confidence is mentioned, we have to calculate the standard error. Unfortunately, this is not mentioned in the MCQ books, and that is where majority times students falter in this concept of confidence. Yes? Inferences. If the CI touches the null value, now what is the null value? RR and OR equal to 1. So suppose I say this is 1. There is a study which has touched it, finished, insignificant. Yes, it is insignificant. Okay, I better draw it here. Yes. Rule 2. More the point estimate, better it is. There are two studies, A and B. B is better because the distance from the point estimate is more. Rule C. Smaller CI, better it is. So the best over here is C. Please remember, you have to apply these rules in a sequence. First A, then B, then C. Now, narrower CI, this is obtained when the sample size is small. So CI is inversely proportional to sample size. So if I say in this diagram, which will have the maximum sample size, it is study C. Minimum sample size would be the study probably X. Yes? Topic 9, the statistical test. The practical approach to questions. Number of groups. Always remember it will be 2 or more than 2. Paired or unpaired. When the same person provides more than one data, it is paired. Measure my BP on the left hand and on the right hand, paired. Measure my BP, give me an atenolol, 30 minutes later measure my BP, paired. Identify the output variable. If the output variable is qualitative, then algorithm 1. If it is quantitative, then algorithm 2. Very, very simple. So if it is quali, algorithm 1. If it is quanti, algorithm number 2. Yes. Coming up the two algorithms. Two groups unrelated, chi-square or Fisher-Exact. Related, Machne-Mar. More than two groups unrelated, chi-square and Fisher-Exact. There is nothing called related in more than two groups. Now when do we do Fisher-Exact? If in the 2 by 2 table of chi-square any value is less than 5, we would do the Fisher-Exact. Categorical versus quantitative, parametric tests, two groups unrelated, unpaired or student t-test, related paired t-test. More than two groups unrelated, one way ANOVA, related it is MANOVA. Yes. So these are the two algorithms which I was talking about in the previous slide. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, done, over. Yes. So this is about a rapid fire revision of statistics. For the new pattern of AIIMS question, as I mentioned it, please come to the DAMS Club and follow this hashtag series. Yes, if you have any doubts, feel free to contact us. Yes, fine. Thank you. Listen to the part 3 and part 4 of this series. Yes.